Hold, please. There's always something, Samantha. Always something.
It's all right. Trial and error.
Get that back in there. Check, 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 check. There we go. There we go. We're cooking with good grease now. So anyway, welcome to the Wake.Show. I'm Chris Fisher, and now that we have audio, yeah, I think we can get underway. In with me for a couple minutes anyway is Samantha. How are you, Samantha?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm swell. Thanks for asking. And she is our social media guru here at Bake More Pies. And so comes in at the beginning of the show to get us up and running and get everything pushed out on our social media so that we can, so people will watch. Uh-oh. Scam likely. Scam likely at the same time. Getting a text from my wife. Got to turn everything off. All right. We're going to get to stuff you should know today. Let's run down that real quickly. Oh, man, I am starving. And I didn't eat properly today. I texted Eric earlier to see if he would come on the show to talk nutrition. He didn't text me back. He's like, screw you, buddy. You won't fill out your plan. You won't fill out your, whatever it's called, Fitness Pal thing. Then you're screwed. Valentine's Day. Let's start. Oh, wait. You gotta put up this. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, question mark, is what I have up there. So I see you are wearing pink today, Samantha.
I am, and you're not.
I'm not. Well, I don't have anything. I don't have anything pinkish there. Let's not. I don't want to get. There we go. How about that?
Perfect.
So you're not looking right up your nose. You can look up my nose.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my my iPhotos real quick if you don't mind me going through my personal stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Because my wife and I are not fans of Valentine's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't do it. We're not supposed to do anything. Our anniversary's on February 4th, so 10 days later is Valentine's Day. There's no reason for that nonsense, right?
Right.
And neither of us are that big of fans. So I get up this morning, and what happens? Because she got up and out of the house before I did.
Oh, look at that.
She had there's a little card that she had put there in the Keurig, because she knew I'd have to have my coffee before I got out of the house there.
She has great handwriting.
She does have a very good handwriting.
Wait,
hold on. While we're there, let's see what else I can show you. This is probably not a good idea. Okay, all right. Well, hold on. That was my trivia night last night at Boulevard Burgers. That was about 10 minutes till, and we had a great crowd. And on Thursday night, I'll be back out at Masteries and Blind Pass. So there's that. Oh, this was very exciting. Now, you're the social media guru around here, so maybe you can help me out with this. So yesterday, I'm scrolling through my stuff. This is on my phone, and I see that, the Wake.Show, we've been given a $30 credit, which that's solid.
Yeah,
that is solid.
That is solid.
That kind of reach, you can get, thousands of people for $30. So, but I don't know what that meant. Like, did I have to use it right then and there, which is I think they were trying to do, like boom, or if I went back into the back end of our account, would I find that $30 credit there?
I can take a look for you.
Oh, that's right.
It would be kind of a cheap shot for them just to throw it there.
Well, I have a feeling though. I have a feeling that's exactly what they did. I bet you that credit is not there. We're giving you a $30 credit to reach more people with an ad like this.
What ad was it?
Obviously you see, it was
like you.
That was me. It was just a portion of the show. There was no particular ad or anything like that. But I was just curious.
Yeah, I'll look into it. I'm sure. I wouldn't doubt Facebook trying to pull a fast one on us and have you use it real quick, but I'll look into it.
All right, Samantha. So you'll get to know me through my iPhotos, okay? Oh, because by the way, I don't. We've only met here to bake more pies, and I've had very minimal conversation, so I don't know Samantha that well. But here you go, Samantha. Here's a picture of my backyard. And I got home yesterday. You see that fence right there?
Yeah.
That fence was not there when I left that morning. That white portion of the fence. So that's really nice because that's the way the fence looks in the backyard that we eventually want to replace. And it's nice to see that at least one of the neighbors, has started the process. Now, if we can get this guy to replace his fence with that, my backyard's gonna look very nice.
Oh, look at Joey.
Oh, little JoJo.
I miss them.
All right, so this picture here is All right, let me explain this. This picture here, I want to show you guys because I'm hoping that I will get help somewhere along the way. My wife wants to get rid of this stump. All right? It's an eyesore and it's ugly to her. I'm like, hold on, honey, look. It looks like, you might be able to like carve it into something and then we'd have a cool little piece in the back. So I know to remove it, to remove a stump, it's going to be a couple $100 at least, I don't know, $200, $300, $400, something like that. But I'm wondering if this is the kind of thing, and I don't know anything about wood, because this just might, you might not be able to do anything but, tear it down. But if you could turn it into something, wouldn't it be cool to turn it into something?
A sculpture out of it.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking. All right, Samantha. At least I got somebody on my side on that one.
I think it's up to you.
All right. So you missed Roxy and Joey. You said.
Yes.
That's a little car ride.
Oh.
They are. Oh, JoJo there. There's a picture that I want to show you guys. All right. So this is me coming to work yesterday, and I was really, really late again. Or no, I was just in a hurry. I wasn't late. I just was in a hurry, and I got behind these guys. In the back streets of where I live in Pinellas Point. And I'm like, I can't believe this. There was like 50 of them. And I'm like, it's not even a weekend. This is a Tuesday. Wait, what's today?
Today's Wednesday.
All right. So that was Tuesday or Monday. I don't know. Anyway, who has that kind of time, at 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning? Anyway, these guys did. And it was really annoying. But while I was sitting there getting gas, watching these guys pass me, I noticed Joey's little face just sitting there in the window. Oh. And to me, he just kind of embodied that look. I felt like everybody at that time, like I said, it was about 8:30 in the morning on a weekday. I feel like everybody in their car had that similar look or that similar feeling. Little Joey. Oh, wait, I didn't even pull it. What am I doing? There we go. Little Joseph. You see Roxy there, looking back at him.
Roxy's
driving, that's right. They're waiting for... all right, and that's good enough. That's enough of the photos for now. We'll come back to that computer for stuff you should know here in a minute. All right. So Valentine, let's get to know you a little bit here. And do you have a Valentine's, Samantha, yourself?
I do, yes.
Do you know what your plans are this evening?
So my boyfriend and I both think that Valentine's Day is kind of lame.
All right.
And we've been together long enough that we're past all of that.
How old are you guys? You are millennials?
Yeah, we're both 21.
21 years old, okay.
So yes, but we both love Red Lobster, so we're going to Lobster.
Oh yes, cheddar biscuits.
Yes. So I'm super psyched. Probably go to Red Lobster, eat a bunch of lobster, and then drink some wine and go to bed early. That sounds perfect to me.
It sounds perfect to me. I'm very sad that's not going to be my night. I'll be working all day, and then when my wife comes home later on tonight, I will be walking out the door to go to Park and Rec for karaoke tonight. So I'll be working until midnight. So when I get home, she will be sleeping. So my thought is that I want to. I don't know. I just have so much work today. I don't know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. But I hopefully I get home and have a couple of hours because after she surprised me with that card, which she wasn't supposed to get, I at least have to swing by, and get a card and get some flowers. But what I wanted to do, there's just a lot. We moved into a house in November, and it's just things just keep getting pushed back further and further and further. And so I just wanted to kind of get a couple of things knocked off the list, some of the smaller things, and get the main area looking clean, even if it means that I've just stuffed some of that stuff, in another room, just so when she comes home later, she has that positive feeling. So hopefully I'll be able to pull that off.
I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
But even though we're not millennial, maybe she is a millennial. She's 31. We're not the biggest fans of Valentine's either. And I've always messed it up. I just messed it up too often. So let's see, I didn't bring the babies in today.
I know.
I'm so sad. That's my book bag or my computer bag and and some squeaky toys. It's the best I can do today. All right, so let's move on with some stuff you should know. Oh, by the way, I don't mean to keep you. I know you're just in here doing social media, so
you're good. I'm posting.
All right, you're posting. You do your thing, and I'll get back to some stuff you should know here. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Oh, hello. No sound. We got the sound up and running, right? Quick, check. Does she do contract work? What do you mean by contract? Oh, you mean do you do people's social media on the side, I guess is the question.
I haven't in the past, but I love social media, so it's not something that I'm not.
What would be the name of your LLC if you were to start an LLC? What would you call it?
I don't know. I don't have one of those names that's super catchy. My last name's Miller.
But Samantha's got a cool, it's got a cadence to it. Like I said, social media Samantha. No, it's not. Samedia.
Perfect.
Samedia. Samedia LLC. Perfect. I love Valentine's Day, hiding the Valentine's eggs, cooking a big turkey, drinking pink beer, the fireworks, all of it. You get a like, Elliot. You always get a like. You better get flowers on the way home. I will get flowers on the way home. Mm-hmm. I've got that credit on my page before. I used it to boost the post that I made. It was pretty cool. All right, thank you, Elliot. So because that is Cord's thing, the guy that I do this, he's responsible for everything, and I didn't want to make that move without him, and so I text him, what should I do? And by the time that I heard back from him, I couldn't do anything. But next time, I'm just going to go ahead and run with it, see what happens. Hey, Fish, something's weird with the mics today. Yeah, I think we got that fixed, right? Let me double check. Check. Does seem like I have to turn it up louder today. So, thank you very much. How about now, Sarah? Check. There we go. All right. So we were using the built-in microphone on the computer, so people couldn't hear you.
Oh, great!
I'm sorry. Your big debut, and I ruined it for you.
I know.
All right, let's get back to some comments. Yeah, perfect. You're good. All right, thank you. We're up and running. Next up, Jimmy Kimmel targeted. And Jimmy Kimmel targeted by a street artist. So here's the street sign there. It's a stop sign that says right turns only. This includes idiot comedians. So this is the art. That's art.
Direct call out.
Yeah. I don't know art. I don't know art when I see it. Seems like a sign. What's the difference between an art and a sign? I guess the context. So anyway, Sabo hung a phony street sign, or Sabo. Wait, hold on, whatever his name is. Oh, I forgot. If he's an artist, then he's only got one name. My bad. Sabo hung a phony street sign at the spot where the talk show host crashed his BMW. Jimmy Kimmel found himself the butt of a joke Tuesday morning at the location where a few weeks earlier he'd reportedly crashed his BMW while trying to make an illegal left turn. TMZ reported that Kimmel was struck while driving on the Sunset Strip in front of the famed Chateau Marmont Hotel in West Hollywood as he turned left. A nearby street sign proclaimed right turn only, which was situated underneath the red stop sign. On Tuesday, though, an additional very official-looking street sign was added to the post so that underneath right turn only, drivers also read, "This includes idiot comedians." The Hollywood Reporter has learned the phony traffic sign is the work of Sabo, a conservative artist who often lampoons liberal entertainers. Okay, so there we go. There's the art there. There's the art part of it. It's a conservative commentator, and Jimmy Kimmel, I guess, is liberal. Sabo said he is picking on Kimmel because of a recent comment he made on a podcast. Quote, "Pretty much every late-night talk show host is a liberal, and that's because it requires a measure of intelligence," Kimmel quipped a week ago on a Pod Save America. Quote, "Obviously his intellect wasn't so sharp as to keep him from nearly killing someone," Sabo told TH. All right, so there you go. I don't care. I don't give a shit about the left wing, right wing stuff. If that is we've already had plenty of conversations about it. If that's something you like to delve into, you're more than happy to in the comment section. But for me, I don't care. I think to break things down is something so simple as the left and the right, something so simple as conservative versus liberalism. Conservatism versus liberalism. Listen, I know fundamentally if we're talking about government, you can define those things. But it's become much, much bigger than just economic policy or an economic philosophy or a governing philosophy. And it's people who need to go to war. They're at war in their head every single day, so they need to find enemies, and they wake up and they find their enemies, and have at it. Next step. Sorry about the politics there.
Oh, it's
All right,
fine.
Let's get to a horrible story, and then we'll back it up with a feel good story. Okay, so I only bring this up not because of the tragedy itself, and that a teenager is dead. That is a horrible tragedy of and within itself. But this is an issue that kind of rears its head for those of you that are not watching here in Florida. I don't know if this, but we have a lot of old people. And we love our old people. We love our grandparents and our great-grandparents and our great-great-great-great-grandparents here in Florida. However, our politicians are not brave enough to pull them off the road. So we have a Florida teen dies after being hit by 100-year-old driver on her way to school. Now, I'm not about pulling people off the road just because of their age. And I know there's plenty of people that get into their 70s and their 80s and their 90s, and they are perfectly capable. But, and Samantha, I don't know, I'd like to turn to you since you are in the room, and I'd like to have a conversation with another human being. This is no disrespect to the elderly.
Right. Whom
I absolutely love, and there's a part of me in my heart that I want for the elderly to, they've earned it, and they want to be mobile, and to say you can't drive is a blow, Mm-hmm. But at the same time, and this is where I hope I'm not getting, I don't want to piss anybody off, but I feel like somewhere at some age we need to start having tests every 3 years, because you got to think that 100 years old, I don't care how bright you are for 100, how spry you are for 100, but at 100 years old, you would think that you have slowed down enough where you're at least as impaired as a much younger person would be after a drink or 2 or 3.
Right.
Okay, so you see it the same way.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know if I was getting out there.
You're not crazy. No,
right.
That's how I feel too.
Okay, good. So what do you guys feel about that then? Because on one hand, you look at your grandparents and go, give them all the, hey Eric, how you doing, buddy? Do you have time to chat it up here? Maybe I got a message here. Noon good? Yes, noon is good. All right, we'll do it in 2.
Can I steal your phone real quick and post on your Facebook?
Oh, that's right. That's one of the other reasons why you were. And there you go.
Thank you.
Personal Facebook 7 right there.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so Eric, I'll fire you up here in a couple of minutes. But for those of you that do live here, and here in the Bay Area, we got plenty of old people, mm-hmm. and like I said, we love them, except when you get behind them and you're like, are you kidding me? Are you really going 5 miles an hour below the speed limit? The minimum speed limit is always at least 9 miles an hour over the speed limit here in the Bay Area. But for the most part, we got to come up with something, because you got to. What do you think that age is? That age is where you could say the average person is likely now at least 1 beer impaired, the equivalent of somebody being 0.08. What is that age? Is that 85? By 85, the majority, would you say?
Yeah, I feel like, even to be fair, there are a lot of older people who are very active and could probably outrun me, which is super impressive. But at that age, I feel like there's got to be a point where your vision and everything starts to deteriorate. Right.
So, your reflexes, and then it's not about you being able to get to the market and back. I'm sure if everything goes fine, you can get to the market and back. It's if something goes down between home and the market, are you able to react quick enough? And, we have a Florida teen dead on her way to school, hit by a 100-year-old driver. Very sad story coming out of the Bay Area today. So we did promise, though, we would book into that. We'd soften that. Well, I don't know if you can really soften. It's a horrible tragedy. It's a horrible tragedy. But other news coming out of the Bay Area this morning that is on the sweet side of things, especially considering that it's Valentine's Day. A couple gets married underwater at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium on Valentine's Day, and Winter ended up photobombing, which is kind of BS. You know, Winter, all of a sudden, the Dolphin gets a little notoriety and thinks he can do whatever he wants. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that is a great story this morning coming from WFLA.com. I guess they are both scuba divers, both scuba certified, and they wanted to get married. This is John and Anna Maria. It's the best way to celebrate their love. As a volunteer diver at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium for the past 9 years, John Martin will marry the love of his life on Valentine's Day. So this was the story that was leading up to, because they actually pulled it off here, but like
about an hour
ago,
yeah.
Right? So this was the story that was leading up to that. And we'll come back. Let's see. We'll come back. We'll see if we'll come back, because what else I have are a woman's kicked off a plane because she was sat next to a baby, and she was like, I'm not having any of this shit. So she starts throwing the tantrum. The adult starts throwing the tantrum. And then tired of, this is an interesting one. Google is testing robot friends. Google is testing robots to chat with you as friends. So that's what we'll do. We'll come back to that. But for right now, let's go ahead and talk some nutrition, some diet. Are you a health nut there, Samantha?
I've been trying to get better.
Right.
I just got a gym membership, so slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
There's your phone back.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Thank you for all your social media prowess.
I think we're all set.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow then.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's go to what are you doing? Are you showing your abs on purpose? Welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Doing all right. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you as well.
How's the weather there in New York today?
Warmed up to 28 today.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys.
I think it's going to go to 40 today. We're excited.
Well, it is starting to warm up here in the Bay Area. We've already hit the 80s, and I think last week we actually hit some record highs for this time of year too. So.
Well, I wish we'd hit a record high.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, welcome back to the show, talking a little nutrition, and of course, I haven't been keeping up with my Fit Pal. See, I don't even know the last time. It's been so long that I haven't. There goes the smack. There goes the long distance smack across the head. But I've come up with an idea.
All right. Lay it on me.
All right, because it is nearly impossible for me to, for whatever reason, to do stuff like that, to load in things. Okay. But we still want to get me healthy. Still want to try to find ways to get me on track.
Right.
And so contemplating this, one of the things I realize is that I really need to start my day off differently. I need to do something differently at the very beginning of the day that hopefully sets the pace for the rest of the day. Because right now, too often, Eric, I'm catching up on sleep. You know, for like a lot of people, you know, I've got a couple of different jobs. What?
I'm gonna tell you a secret. Don't eat breakfast. That's it.
That's it. Make it that simple. Don't eat breakfast.
That's it, man. Intermittent fasting, dude. I'm telling you, brother.
I thought of you.
Works.
I thought of you the other day because I saw a meme, and it said something to the effect of a hungry lion. What was it? Something about a hungry lion. And basically, you get the best out of a lion when he's hungry and he, needs some food.
Yeah, it's right there. Let me see if I can get that in there.
There's the meme. Wow, that is nice. Did you get that done?
Yeah. Josh Snellenberger, 1603 tattoo right there in Tampa and Ybor.
Right on, man.
He did all of it. You can tell the time. Yeah, he hooked it up, man. He got
I love it.
All this good stuff. So anyway.
I love it. All right, so as soon as I get up out of bed in the morning, to have a bottle of water, or here's what I'm thinking. Yeah, just get right up and, like you were saying, just pound a bottle of water or a full glass of water.
Right.
Start right there, and then I think what I need to do is, because I want so badly to catch up on sleep in the morning. You know, this is what I was getting ready to set up before you started showing me your abs or whatever before you started pulling up your shirt. Is that, like a lot of people, I'm working doubles and sometimes triples and this and that. So those down times, especially early in the morning, I feel like are my time to catch up. But I don't need to think that way. When my wife's alarm goes off at 6:15, what I want to do is get up with her. And so this is what I'm proposing. This is what I want to run by you and get your thoughts on. So when her alarm goes off at 6:15, instead of me going, oh, great, that means now I have 1 hour where I can spread out on the bed, and finally get some sleep, I'm going to get up out of bed, drink that glass of water, put on a cup of coffee, not drink it yet, put on a cup of coffee, and then strap up the dogs and head out the door. So at least immediately, start walking and starting a different habit in the morning. What do you think about that?
Okay. No, I like it. I like that idea. Now, as far as staying consistent on the, you're logging your food, and we're going to move forward and try something different, I would like you to just monitor the hours you're eating. So can we limit when you're eating to just 8 hours a day? So if you have your first meal at 10 a.m., can you have your last meal at 6? Or if you're going to have your first meal, like me, I eat about between 11:30 and noon is my first meal. I do it right after I work out. I work out between 10 and 10:30. Then I have my last meal between 7:30 and 8. And it doesn't have to be exact. You can't go, oh, I'm eating dinner, I'm halfway through it, and it's 8 o'clock, I got to throw it away. But just trying to maintain that 8-hour window is going to be huge. I mean, there's people like, we talked about a couple weeks ago, there's a great study that just came out of University of Tampa, right there, local to the Bay Area, about intermittent fasting, and you can actually have all your calories that you need in one meal if you want. So you could fast literally for 23.5 hours, but trying to consume that amount of calories in one shot is pretty detrimental.
Is that about your body's amazing ability to adapt? If you were somebody that you ate one meal a day, you ate 3,000 calories one time every single day, it's okay because your body is going to go fine.
Yeah.
If that's my daily routine, then fine, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head, but where, like, say, the general population and, like, where you're at and saying, well, how can I make this not as difficult, but make me successful, is the longer you can fast. I mean, what is breakfast? It's breaking the fast, right? So your body's gone all night. And when we were hunter-gatherers, what are we doing is we got food when we got it. We didn't, have 3 hots and a cod or whatever, wherever you're at, or we didn't have, the old school, mentality of you got to eat 7 times a day and keep your metabolism burning. And
you ate.
What is fat? We all know it's stored energy. So the longer we don't eat, then our body has to go after what's stored. So if you got a little bit more stored, eat a little less often.
Now, what's the balance of that? Because I know if you're not careful and you go down that path, your body has a tendency to freak out first and break down muscle first, because it is easier to break down in times of crisis. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. And that's talking about, keeping your body out of a catabolic state. So when you are eating, you've got to have protein-rich food. So, this is something that, when you're having your meals, are you having a protein shake? Are you having something that's meat-based, something protein-based that your body can process and keep yourself going, so you're able to keep that, keep away from what's also called a negative nitrogen balance? Because when you get into that and your body starts cannibalizing, and that's what catabolic means, is it's cannibalizing your muscle. We want you to stay anabolic, so you're building muscle and burning fat. So that's where, with the times you are eating, that you're getting a sufficient protein intake.
So for people like me, my schedule can be erratic. Like tonight is one of my long days, where I go until midnight. I'll be working till midnight, breaking down. So I'll be working, so let's say till 12:30, 12:40. So on a day like today, do I stave off that first meal because I've only got an 8-hour window? So I'll be like, all right, well then I gotta make sure my first meal's not till noon, and that way I get a chance to have a snack, say around 8 o'clock, because I still have 4 hours left of working and going. It's not just sitting there doing nothing. At the end of the night. Yeah, I mean,
it's. If you're doing that a couple times a week and you expand your window because you were starving, like say today, if you could not eat till 1 or 2, try to, because you know you're going to eat between that 8 and midnight window, and that way you can enjoy yourself, because again, that's the methodology we look at. We talk about flexible dieting because it's flexible around your schedule, around your needs, around your goals. So if we can put you in a position that you're able to still eat, but if tonight happens to be a 10 or 11-hour window, the world doesn't end. Let's go back to that consistently average equal, trumps seldom perfection. So if you can put yourself in a position that you're able to stay in that 8-hour window, maybe 7 hours depending on the day, But then like longer days like today, you're going to go, hey man, I'm going to eat for 10 hours. I'm not going to, I'm going to have my first meal at 1 and I'm going to have my last meal at 11, or my first meal at 12, and my last meal at 10. That's fine too.
For so long, Eric, we've been told that we really need to spread out our meals all day long and, eat every 2 hours, every 3 hours. So this doesn't mess with your sugar levels and get you out of whack that way?
There's so much data now, and what's awesome is I try to stay, up on every study that's done and what's going on and how it works. I mean, really, we can call shenanigans on that. If you have some kind of blood sugar disorder, you have some kind of medical issue, yes, that can be the case. But for the other 98% or 99% of us that don't have that issue, and we're just hungry all the time and you feel like you're going to pass out, well, your body just needs to learn to process that extra energy you're holding around the waistline, and that's something that we want to make sure, if we're putting ourselves in a position to be in a higher metabolic state and letting our body realize, like, okay, I can go after the stored energy. But then the other advantage that we're not even realizing that, that's going to help you and your viewers and listeners is that it actually shrinks your stomach. So as you start to eat less often, your stomach is going to slowly shrink, because if you're pounding, large meals all the time and you're stretching out that stomach lining, and we've all heard it, people that got their stomach stapled, they lost 100 pounds, they gained it all back because they stretched it right back out. So, that's why I never agree with something like that, again, unless it's medical needs. But yeah, if you can think about, starting off that first meal and putting yourself in a position to have a ramped up metabolism all day long, and then you're going to see how much your body can actually do with just the calories you're eating and your stored energy.
Will it take a little bit for me to get used to it? Like, so I start tomorrow.
Right.
Will it be the next 3 days be kind of difficult mornings as my body's getting acclimated to that?
And we talk about mindset, and it's really this, right?
Okay.
But this is the advantage. Your coach right here is telling you, don't think about that first meal. Just plan on it. Plan on, hey, man, I'm going to have a great lunch at, wherever you're going to go eat, or at your house at, 12 o'clock, and that's just what it's going to be. Not thinking you wake up, man, I really want to eat. I really want to eat. I really want to eat. Okay, can I eat? No, I can't eat. I want to eat more, and then you just drive yourself crazy. Just know, hey, I'm coming up to that time. I'm going to eat, and literally it'll become second nature to you, and you're not even going to think about it.
And I know this part of it's more personal. This doesn't necessarily apply to everybody that is watching in their circumstance, but I think a lot of what drives me to eat in the morning has to do with whatever anxiety issues that I have. So as soon as I get up, that anxiety of the day immediately starts to set in, and one of the things that really helps that is that fatty, salty breakfast. But another thing that could really help that is getting right out of bed, a glass of water, put on that cup of coffee, and then strap up the dogs and just get out of the house, because that's at least a 20-minute walk, 20 to 40-minute walk to start my day.
Yeah, and I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head when you were saying that salty yumminess. I said, I want to give you the other salty treat, and that's the sweat coming down your face. And
I love you, man. You're so awesome.
The salty treat. So that's something that exactly the stimulation that your brain's going to get, and what you're going to be able to achieve from just getting minor exercise. You don't have to go, hey, dude, I climbed a mountain today, or I did 4 hours of CrossFit, or I ddid 500 pull-ups. No, just go for a walk, jog. If you throw in a few lunges and sit-ups and burpees, great.
Oh, no burpees.
Let's just
no burpees.
And it's just challenging you, or just pick up the pace. Hey, I'm going to jog from this light pole to the next. After your walking makes it really easy, and then every third light pole you jog to the next one, or whatever you're doing. But being able to get up and exercise and get your energy going, and then get that metabolism going, you give that stimulation, as you said, and in your situation is going to be leaps and bounds over where you are, because you're able to focus more, and you're able to get a stimulation from a different source other than food, because you're getting basically the same stimulation. The only thing is the after effect of how you impact your hormones from high fatty and salty foods is, an hour or 2 or 3 later, and your blood sugar drops, and there's a whole gambit of things that go on hormonally. But if you exercise, you just feel good, and that's just what happens, and it improves your health.
Eric Stratman, thank you so much from TNL Nutrition Coaching. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing this stuff. Not only just busting my chops every week, but sharing this information to all those that are watching. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, love being on. You guys have a great one.
All right, we'll talk to you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you so much. I do only have like one more thing to get to today as far as how would I rate my video call. It was amazing. Please submit. All right, now I don't know how this happens. And then oh wait, there we go. Yay. Figured it out. Yeah, just the one story that I thought was kind of interesting that popped. Just because I just love them. I just, the era that we live in, the technology that we have at our disposal, is pretty amazing. So let's get to robot friends. We'll get to robot friends here in just 1 second. All right. I think the very young and very old shall live in community. The headline starts from The Guardian. Tired of texting? Google tests robot to chat with friends for you. With its new reply system, the firm is taking the art of conversation one step forward. Or should that be backwards? Because the same kind of stuff, this is what these yahoos who, you get these email blasts, and they use the same kind of thing. They make it look like you're having a conversation with somebody. Are you tired of the constant need to tap on a glass keyboard to keep up with your friends? Do you wish a robot could free you of your constant communication obligations via WhatsApp, Facebook, or text message? No. If you need to put an automatic reply, put an automatic reply. Don't try to sneak in something that makes it look like one of your loved ones, one of your friends, is chatting with you. Google's experimental product lab called Area 120 is currently testing a new system called Reply that will work with Google's Hangouts and Allo, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Android messages, Skype, Twitter direct messages, and Slack. Reply aims to take the smart AI-based suggested replies that are available in Google's Gmail and Allo apps to the next level. In an email test sent to volunteers, Area 21 says you probably get a lot of chat messages and you want to be there for people, but also for people in the real world. What if replying were literally one tap away? The system can apparently work out what people are saying to you and suggest one-tap answers. But Google says it'll go further, taking your location, your calendar, and other bits of information into account. One example was using your location to send an instant response to when can you be home, using your preferred method of transport and the time it'll take to wherever your home is. Reply will also be able to tell people or tell everyone you're on holiday, vacation here in America, automatically checking your calendar and replying as appropriate. Plus, it will have an advanced do not disturb mode that will silence. Okay, I'm all right with the advanced silence. Do not disturb mode. I'm very okay with that. So, I don't know. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching today. Let's see, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. As you can see, we'll have somebody in here at the beginning of the show, Samantha Everyday, who will be taking care of social media and hopefully having some fun with the show. Also, here in the next, I don't know, put a time on it. But we are getting some of the other infrastructure stuff shored up. We still haven't changed the intro since Jonny Torres left, that kind of stuff. So a couple of those things to get under our belt. Then we're going to have our official grand launch, I guess what you call it, like grand opening, a grand launch coming up here in the next couple of weeks with the Wake.Show. And then we'll go from there. So thank you so much for being here in the beginning and chiming in, adding in all your commentary, not just in the news of the day, but also what we're doing around here. Feel free to message me and any suggestions, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, what would you like to see, something like this. So, all right, you have yourself a wonderful day. And tomorrow, Chris McCarty will be joining me. He will be back. We're going to try to get him in here on Thursdays and Fridays to add a little commentary
to what's going on around here. So, all right, have a great day. Be safe. Love you, and I'll talk to you soon.